Alright guys, welcome to Mrs. Dronda's Crash Course. In each of these videos, we're going to go over one quick topic that you'll need to know for your midterm. My best advice to you guys on how to use these videos is to look at a question, pause the video, try it on your own, and then watch it for an explanation, because otherwise you're going to wind up just watching me do it and feeling maybe a little overly confident. So as I work through these, pause the video, use them to interact, and as always, if you guys have questions, send them my way. In this video, we're going to talk about function transformations. So there's a couple things to remember as you're working through function transformations. First of all, we used this acronym a bunch earlier in the year to talk about what happens when something is inside the function versus when it's outside. So horizontal means inside. So if you have a change inside the function, it's going to be a horizontal change. It can be a shift, it can be a compression, it can be a stretch, but it will happen horizontally. Versus if I have a vertical change, that will be on the outside. So if I look at these, anytime that you see the word vertical, right, notice that it's happening outside of the f of x. So anytime you see vertical, it's happening outside. Whereas anytime I see horizontal, it's happening inside the f of x. So on all of these, it's happening inside your parentheses, right? Now remember, vertical changes are direct, what you think they should be. Horizontal changes are the opposite. If these aren't super familiar to you, pause the video and look at it and see what you remember. But let's look at some examples. So let the function below be a graph of f. Write an equation for y, the transformation of f of x after, and I have 4 different transformations. So this would be my challenge to you. Pause the video, see if you can do this on your own, and hit play when you're ready. So let's take a look at this one. So my original is f of x, and if this is going to shift up 3, that's vertical, so it should be outside. So it should be y equals f of x, nothing's happening inside, plus 3, because it's going 3 up, and vertical is direct. Now, shift right. Now that's got to be inside, because it is horizontal, so it's going to be inside my parentheses. And I'm going to the right, which means I'm going to use the opposite sign, so minus 5, right? Positive direction, negative sign. A vertical stretch, so this needs to be outside. Stretches are dilations, so factor of 7, f, x, there we go. And then this one, vertical compression by a factor of a half, reflection over the x-axis, and a shift left 2. So I know it's y equals. Let's start with what we know. A vertical compression, so it's got to be outside, a factor of a half, so 1/2 f. A reflection over the x-axis, that's a vertical flip, right, if you go over the x-axis. So that will put a negative outside. And a shift left 2, so in here I'm going to have x plus 2. Now, these last 2 questions are questions from the challenge activity we did in class on our last review day. So I just wanted to go over those one more time to make sure we were comfortable on those, since these are on our review sheet you have. So on this first one, write a formula for y after a vertical stretch of 4 and a translation up 3. So vertical, that's going to be outside. Translation up, that's also going to be outside, so that would be your function. And then the last one, the vertex of a parabola is defined by this. The vertex is at this point. Where is the vertex of the parabola defined of f of x minus 2? So this would move this to the right 2. I'm thinking about what transformation would happen. And so if this points at 2, negative 1, and I go to the right 2, now I'm at 4, negative 1. So that is your crash course on transformations. If you have more questions, let me know, and good luck studying.